Today is a great day for all of us to be jubilant that the primordial being himself incarnated on this earth as Shri Krishna. So many aspects of his being have been described in so many of my lectures to you. But the greatest and greatest of all the aspects of this primordial being was that he was the Yogeshwara. He was the god of yoga, Yogeshwara. He was the Lord of our union with the divine. Without his permission or without his sanction, we cannot be Sahajogis. He was Yogeshwara, and a real yogi is a person who gets this Yogeshwara awakened within him. The word yoga that we understand is the union of our attention with the divine. But still we do not realize the implications. What does it mean? What should happen to us? Of course, you get powers. As soon as you become the spirit, you get powers. One of the powers you get is of collective consciousness. That is also the gift of Shri Krishna. And that you start feeling the collectivity. Your ego and superego is sucked in, so you get rid of your karmas and your conditionings, and a new sprouting of the new life for the new age starts. But still, what is the speciality, the greatness of Yogeshwara? Because he is Ishvara for you. He is the Ishvara of all the yogis. What is his capacity? What is his nature? That for him everything is a play, Leela. For Sri Rama, it was not a play. For him, life was a platform on which he had to demonstrate how to lead a very dharmic life as Maryada Purushottam. But Shri Krishna came up to show that he is the Leeladhara, one who plays the Leela, the play. The whole thing is a play. The whole universe is a play. All that is created by Adi Shakti, all these Trigunas is nothing but a play. And that's what he manifested in his own incarnation. But still, what is Yogeshwara? Leeladhara is the one for whom this whole universe is a play, that he is at the axis and for the whole periphery is nothing but a play. Because everything is false. except for your spirit, everything is false. Is all a joke going on, you can say, a drama going on, nothing so serious. Spirit is the only truth within us. The rest is all untruth. There cannot be many types of truths. In Sanskrit language there is only truth or untruth, satya or asatya. There are no 10 words for truth. So when this happens, this great happening takes place within you. When you become one with spirit, you get powers. Without even your maturity reaching that stage, your understanding reaching that stage, and your heart opening out, you get the powers all right to begin with, so that you have faith with open understanding. You should have faith with experience of it. So it starts off. When you start using your powers, you see it is manifesting. You are sometimes amazed how you raise Kundalini of people, how you tie them up, how you give them realization, how you cure people. You are amazed how it has happened. So we can say it's all built in within you, which has started manifesting. But there is so much more that has to still manifest, which has to establish and make you grow. One of the very important points is the Yogeshwara. And that point we must understand that unless and until you follow the path of Yogeshwara, you cannot establish yourself fully. So Krishna has said that Sarvadharmanam Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. You give up all your relationships. Dharma is relationship. Like your sister, your brother. You see, these have dharmas, like Stri Dharma, a woman's job. Then we can say also there is Rashtra Dharma. Today is the day of India's freedom also. So we have Rashtra Dharma, like we are patriotic people. Patriotism to your own country is Rashtra Dharma. Then you have got Samaj Dharma, that is duty towards your society is Samaj Dharma. Then you have got Pati Dharma, husband's duties, wife's duties, everybody's duties are called as dharmas, because this is what you have to do, you are duty bound. They form your dharmas. But he says, give up all these dharmas, give up all the duties, just surrender yourself fully to me. Sarvadharmanam Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Because you have become now the collective being, now you have become one with him, now he looks after your dharmas, he looks after your relationships, he cleanses them, he purifies them. So you just surrender yourself to him fully. He said it to Shri Arjuna only, not to everyone. He didn't say to everyone. They didn't deserve it. Or he didn't think it proper to say to them. But I think you are proper people to know this. So I am telling you that forget every other duty to every other thing, but do your duty to your collective being, to your collectivity. But he is Yogeshwara. That's the main point. And to do duty to him, first and foremost thing is you have to develop that purity of a Yogeshwara. For him, sublimation was not needed. He was sublime. He was the source of sublimation. He did not need sublimation from baser instincts of human beings. He did not need anything to be done to himself, to raise himself out of the mire, as I call it. Especially in the West, as you know, we have created a hell for ourselves, real hell. All kinds of perverted ideas are within us. To a Yogeshwara, this is nothing but Maya, absolutely filth. Never comes into his that such things are possible. They are shocking. On his birthday, I would say, if today is his birthday and if he was born as he was at that time, he would have gone back immediately. He would have said, no sorry, I have nothing to do. Had enough. And that too, if he had met the Western culture, he would have been shocked back. He said, oh God, no, nothing doing. I am not coming here. Despite the times when he was born, where there was dharma, there was people understood what was right, what was wrong, when there was none of these nonsensical things were there, he came as Yogeshwara, pure. The story of his about him is that once his wives wanted to go. To him, what was wives? Nothing, it's just a play. To him, no sin can be attached. He married because he had to marry his 5 principles or the 5 elements. So he made them into women and married them. He had to marry 16,000 women because he had to have 16,000 powers, and he had to channelize them through some body, so they came as women. To him, it was not a relationship of a wife, but a pure relationship. To him, sex had no existence at all. He was beyond it. So no question of temptations and perversion is out of question. The story is that once his 5 wives wanted to go and pray to some saint who had come, a great saint, to their town, but he really stayed across the river. So they wanted to go and worship him, and they found a very good time when they could go and see him. So when they went near the river, they said, it is in Spain, you cannot cross it. It's not the time that you can cross it. So they felt it was very inauspicious if they did not go, and that was such an auspicious time. They wanted to go at that time and worship this Guru. So they went to Krishna and said that now how can we cross? The river is in Spain. He said, really? Doesn't matter. You go and tell the river. That's the river Yamuna river was there. No, not Yamuna, I'm sorry, Tapi river. He said, go and tell the river that if we have a husband who is Shri Krishna, is a Yogeshwara. That means who never indulge into any sex activity with us. Yogeshwara means a person who has never indulged into any sex relationships. That's not possible. One cannot think of such a thing. Means though he indulged, he never indulged in it. Though he was in it, still he was not there. Like a lotus. If he has not indulged into any such action, it's only possible for him, nobody else. That's why he is an incarnation, he is not a human being. Only incarnations can do it. If some human being starts saying that I am Shri Krishna, so I am doing this and I am doing that. Like, you see, there are many bombastic ones, must have heard about them. They do not become. It's only an incarnation can do it. That means Yogeshwara is the one who had incarnated. So they went and told the river that if he is the Yogeshwara, then please you subside. And she went down. So they went to the other side, did the puja to the Guru, and they came back. Again the river was in speed, and they could not cross. So they went to the Guru. This is the sign of a good Guru, or a real Guru, is an incarnated Guru. And they said that, see, we cannot cross, the river is in Spain. So they said, really? How did you come? They said, Shri Krishna asked us that if I am the Yogeshwara, it will go down. You ask the question. And he said, all right, you go and ask the question. That if I am the Mukta, that means if I have eaten all the food you have given me, but I have not enjoyed it, I have not indulged it, then let the river subside. They went and told the river. I mean, they could not believe it, because that fed him, that whatever food we offered him, if he has not eaten any food, then you subside, and the river subsided. So the moral of the whole thing is that your ideal, again, in this respect is Shri Krishna. Not that you think you are the ideal of the rest. This is the big mistake Sahaj Yogis do. They think immediately they have become now Shri Krishna, or they have become something greater, or that there is an ideal that they have imbibed within themselves. It's not so. That one thing one has to know, that is the ideal you have to reach, and your eye should be towards that ideal, and the movement should be towards that. Before that, if you fall into any such things like perversions and nonsensical sexual things and all that, you must know that you are falling down very badly. It's a possession that is working on you. That's an ideal. They are incarnations. You are not incarnations, nor you can become incarnations. But they are the light which are enlightening your path on which you are walking. They are taking you to the realm where they are the kings and they are the lords. He is Ishvara. He is your Ishvara. You are not Ishvaras, but you are at least the yogis. We have to be the yogis first, then he is our Ishvara. Otherwise he doesn't want to rule you. So what we have to do is to become the yogis first. And one of the signs of a yogi is that he is in his sex life extremely pure. Absolutely purity must exist. And after some time one should get beyond it. Your relationships with other people, whether it is your sister or a brother or any other woman or any other man, there should be complete purity. And this is extremely important. Now, in the countries like India, people are extremely corrupt, very corrupt, extremely corrupt. You can give them 5 rupees and you can buy anybody there. It's very corrupt, money-wise. But people are not so immoral. They know it is immorality. They know. If they do immoral things, they know it is not immoral. In the West, immorality has become a general rule. For them, immorality word should vanish now. It doesn't exist like immorality. Do anything, whatever you like. People don't think of immorality. They don't want to talk of it. It's Victorian. And if somebody says that one should be moral, they start saying he's an hypocrite. They cannot think there can be any connection between human beings and morality in a genuine way. This is big problem we have. It's the biggest problem we have. Now, corruption is something you can avoid, because if you are not corrupt, it's all right, you can be. But immorality is such a thing that if you live in an immoral world, it has effect on everyone. For example, a moral woman is walking on the road and there's a man full of lust and all that looking at her. In any way, she loses her chastity. She doesn't mean to attract him or anything, she doesn't want to lose her chastity. But the way he is looking at her, you see, though her simple methods are there, she may be responsible in a distant way to ruin his chastity, his morality. Even a little child who is a simple innocent child, but if there's a dirty man with dirty eyes, he can have very dirty feelings for the child. So, though of course that person himself is dirty and all that, we can say that child is not affected, but in a way that becomes an object, a sort of a vastu, as you call it, a thing which makes another person even lower than what he is. Even a ordinary picture which has nothing to do is placed there. Any funny thing which is giving some dirty feelings, because these days I have seen so many symbols have started, which to my eye I don't even see there is anything wrong with it. That there is to my eyes I can't see, because I am too innocent. My eyes can't see there's anything wrong. But if somebody who is an expert on these things will immediately say, go look at this. Really it is impossible to understand how the human mind has really woven their yarns all around and made these patterns to ruin themselves and ruin others. So, to worship Yogeshwara, we must know that our relationships with everyone in this world has to be pure. He played lots of things in his lifetime. The time when he came, the whole country was absolutely drowned into fanatic ideas about religion. If Freud was there, he would have said, oh, this is all nonsense. See, what's wrong? Go ahead. Krishna did not do that. He wanted to break all the nonsensical shackles of traditions and shackles of false fanaticism. But he did it in a very beautiful manner, keeping the relationship absolutely pure. Now, people ask questions, whether was he married to Radha? You know, he's eternally married to her, doesn't matter. But he actually performed the marriage just the day he was born. he was brought by his father across the river and put down on the bank of the river. When Shri Brahmadeva himself came on this earth, that's why he wears a yellow thing always, as a blessing from Brahmadeva, who covered his lower part, lower than the waist, with a cloth. That's the sign. That's why he always wears the yellow. He himself came, made him into man, and married him to Radha. Then again he became a child, just to appear to be a child. Somebody may appear to be a child. To some of you I appear like 16-year-old girl, as you say, but I am not. Why? I may be, according to counting, might be 60 years of age, but I am not. My age is eternal. I can't say what age is mine. It could be 2-year-old or it could be absolutely ancient. It could be anything. So, in his own life, whatever he did with the purity of understanding. So Radhaji was married to him first. And afterwards, when he came as a child, when he was a child, he did all kinds of pranks and things. It was nothing but sahaja. It was not sitting like this and seriously telling about things. But with little bit here and there, he tried to improve their chakras and raise their kundalinis. Of course, realization was not possible in a game. You cannot do it. Supposing I just play about with you, you cannot get your realization. Because at the Sahasrara stage, you have to completely recognize. It has to be a game of serenity. Of course, you can just raise your hand and give realization to them. But you have to bring them to serene level. If you just came and said, all right, you now play about, it would be all finished. You have to sit down and meditate. Though he has said it in Gita, you have to do it. So, one could not say that all the time if you are playing, if you are just singing songs, or if you are in a very happy mood, a mirthful mood, then it's the end of Sahaja Yoga. It is not. It's a serious matter. So, he did not give them realization, but he reduced the tension on their minds of the so-called dharma and its shackles of fanaticism, and he made it loose, and he wanted them to understand that dharma is not going to enslave you. You have to rise above the dharma, become dharma itself. But Yogeshwara is to be worshipped with pure heart. In this atmosphere, it's difficult, I know. You just go out and you see a horrid thing there. You open any page of the magazine, there's another horrid thing. Anywhere you advertise me, the next page I turn, I find a discotheque nonsense going on there. I mean, what can you do? You can't just help it. And all this is on. I mean, if you look at it, how gross, dirty, filthy the whole thing. To add to problems, psychologists have come forward. They themselves are affected by their methods and everything. They are so possessed. And their sense about morality is absolutely in complete confusion. No doubt about it. You know Freud, what happened to him? He was having relations with his mother. He couldn't even understand. I mean, imagine what a adharmi he must be, horrible, wretched fellow, he did not even have that purity to understand relationship with a mother. I mean, imagine, it is such a clear-cut background of this man shows how wrong he must have been. Because what was in him? Such filth, such dirt, that he could not even look at his mother with clear. Must be all mud in his eyes, or I don't know what he must be like to see things like that. You are shaking with my vibrations all. Now, when we think of him as Yogeshwara, that means we are yogis and he is our Ishvara. Ishvara is to be praised. Dhyayati. You have to praise. You have to praise him for his quality as Yogeshwara, because he is your Ishvara. So you have to praise him. Now, what praise can we give him? Today he is born. What should we do on such a great occasion when he is born? We have to decide that he is our Ishvara. He is the Ishvara aspect. And if he is our Ishvara, then we have to cleanse our attitude towards sex, towards the gross way of life that we have developed, to just shun it and throw it away. Absolutely. There cannot be compromise on that. Otherwise, you cannot be a yogi. You cannot be a yogi. You may become very powerful, maybe for a time being, because I play with you. You get ideas that you are very powerful and all that. That's not true. As my name is Nirmala, as my name is purity, you have to be pure yogis. Nobody says you should not marry. Nobody says you should not have proper sex relationships with your wives. That's not true. But that is one thing people may avoid and spoil it. But the other thing, which is the most important, is your attention to be pure of sex attractions, any kind. Your attention should never go to anything like that. You see, to me, I mean, I'm now supposed to be an old lady. I don't see things which normally people see. This is something surprising. See, I see something and I don't know what's happening, and everybody laughs at me in the house. See, they don't understand that how I didn't see the point, or I don't understand these jokes, because the attention never goes into these dirty things, never goes into these things. I can't see till somebody tells me that this is this. But they have to explain 10 times. So all these sophisticated methods of nonsense and the filth and the dirt that we have accumulated here, please wash off your hands of that. That's one thing will not be tolerated in Sahaja Yoga. Every Sahaja Yogi, I must tell you, self-sex cannot be enjoyed if you live like this. You cannot. You don't enjoy sex at all in this country. None of them. Only in a country where people are innocent you can enjoy. If you were enjoying, you would not run from one woman to another woman. You would not run from man to woman and man to man and then to all donkeys and all those things. It is impossible that you could be a yogi with all these dirty ideas. And then you cannot mature. Even a normal person won't mature. In India, a person who is about 40 years, he becomes a matured father. You leave any girl with him, anybody with him, he will not even get into his idea head that there's something could exist between them. Once you are married, it should not. I mean, I've seen my two son-in-laws, they never get these ideas into their heads. So, try to put your attention into proper training, because your Ishvara is Yogeshwara. Now the other side of Shri Krishna, people do not know. It's a play, all right. But he is Samhara Shakti. He is the power of destruction. It's very good. He's there, comes with everything to protect us. But he also has got Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan. Su means auspicious. Darshan is vision. He gives us auspicious visions, you see. If you try tricks with him, that goes round your neck. And then you have auspicious darshans of yourself, that you are hanging in the air somewhere. So, Shri Krishna's methods. On one side, he is Leelamay. He is compassionate. He stands by his bhaktas. He comes on this earth to revive the dharma. If the dharma goes down, he comes to uplift it. Yada yada hi dharmasya. Wherever there is the decline of dharma. But dharma doesn't mean only corruption. It doesn't mean only honesty and dishonesty. Basically, it means Muladhara. That is the beginning of the end. And he comes to Sasamsthapanarthaya again, to establish into the holy state. He comes on this earth to raise human beings to that level. This is what he does. So, if we are Sahajogis, we are part and parcel of his being. We are instrument into his working. So we have to establish dharma. But the one who has no dharma within himself, what dharma is he going to establish anyway? We have come on this earth to establish the dharma in its holy aspect, not like Roman Catholic Church or another Pentecostal church or these Hindu religious activities or these Hindu temples or the Islamic state. But dharma in its pure state we have to establish. But if there is no dharma within us, how are we going to establish? So he comes on this earth every time to establish dharma at Vishnu level. But at Shri Krishna level, he comes as Yogeshwara. This is the point many people have not even thought of. For Vishnu, they may not say Yogeshwara. That is, he is the Ishvara of yogis. As Ganesha is the Ishvara of the Ganas. Is the Ganapati looks after the Ganas. And he is our Ishvara. That is, we have to have him as our ideal. With the understanding that today is the day, in the night, about 12 o'clock. Now must be about 12 o'clock in India also, about that. So it matches. He was born at this time, in the night. because it was real night, symbolically, under horrible circumstances, came at a time when his own birth was very dangerously placed. He was saved, and then in his very childhood he killed Rakshasas. But all this he did because he was an incarnation. Nobody is asking you to go and kill Rakshasas, is it? In Sahaja Yoga, did I ask you to go and kill some Rakshasas? On the contrary, I am just saying keep yourself protected. There was a Rakshasine who came, her name was Putana, and she wanted to put poison through her breast, and she took the child and started nursing. He was a little baby, and when he started sucking her breast, she came out in her true form and she died. Because he was, after all, he was an incarnation. Can any one of us do that? I mean, the Sahaja Yogis. Then as a child, he was very mischievous. So he ate some clay, I think. Whether he ate it or not, his mother doubted. She got very angry. She said, "Open your mouth, I would like to say, did you eat that?" When he opened the mouth, she saw a complete universe moving in his throat because Vishuddhi Chakra. She saw, because she could see, she had power to see, she could see. Not everybody can't see that. Those who have powers can see. We don't even have the powers as much as she had to see the universe. So one has to understand that first, as Sahaja Yogis, we get the powers much before we are past really the test of Sahaja Yogis. Just given the grace. Other way around it is. In the university, they will first give you the degree, certificate, and then you will get a job. May not get job also these days. Here, you get the job first of all, you get all the powers, you are paid for, but the degree is still not sure. Anybody walks about as Sahaja Yogi, next day I find him coming out with something else. There are certified Sahaja Yogis I have seen. They become afterwards certified something else. God knows how. So this is the thing of Sahaja Yoga, that you can become a Sahaja Yogi even without having the real certificate. It's definitely so. And the certificate is given, as you know, by Lord Jesus Christ. He doesn't give. He doesn't give certificate easily. That's why he is very, very strict. He is not going to give. He is extremely strict. As far as the Sahaja Yogis are concerned, he is not going to give you certificates. He is going to judge you. And what is his basic nature is innocence. He is going to judge you on your innocence. If you are a superego, you can say, "Oh, I got possessed by a bhoot, you see, and a bhoot did this." So he said, "All right, you go to the bhoot for the certificate, not to." Even when Sahaja Yogis fight, I have seen, they tell me, "Mother, must be my bhoot and his bhoot must have fought." And what were you doing? They were witnessing it, like Shri Krishna. with all these things happening, I get a big promise sometimes that, Mother, all right, now we are not going to quarrel, there's not going to be any problem, you rest assured, we'll all live in harmony. Then suddenly I find that somebody is fighting for a bathroom or for a soap or something like that. That's not for a Sahaja Yogi to behave. First of all, you have to be a satisfied person, a person of great dignity and forbearance. Otherwise, what are you going to bear? I love him very much, but he should not have taken my towel. For small things, if you go on insisting, sure you are not a yogi as yet. If you are fighting for things, then you are not a Sahaja Yogi at all. What is the thing matters? I never say anything about anything, do I? That I must have this, I must have that, how did you prepare this? Though it is sometimes really wrong and protocolish, I never say that, why did you bring these bananas? They are no good, I am not going to eat. Did I say so? I mean, even the flowers you use may not be auspicious. I know certain flowers should not be used for puja, but I have not opened my mouth. If I have to tell you, I just tell you, because you have to know it for your own good, not for my good. So, on a day like this, which is a day of great joy to all the world and happiness, we should know one thing, that when Christ was born, he was born in a very humble place. But when Krishna was born, he was born in the most horrifying circumstances. Same is the case of Sahaja Yogis today. It's a thing of great joy and jubilation, no doubt, that he came and he gave us this Vishuddhi power. But we must understand that we are born in a very precarious time. I've been saying this so many times. There's not only one Kamsa there. So many are there. There's a big fight going on. In that you people are here in charge. You are the ones employed by God. You are the ones who have been given this great work. You have powers. Like Shri Krishna, when he was crossing as a child, he was put in a basket, and the father was carrying the child in the basket. And when his feet touched the river Yamuna, the river went down. Because she was in Spain, she went down. In the same way, you too have all these powers. Krishna has given you all the powers, though they will be really known to you when only Lord Jesus Christ accepts you as such. That's important, because you have to be innocent. Purity must be brought. Last time, on this great day, we had 16 marriages. They came out well, most of them. Not all, but most of them were very good. And I'm really very happy that such good couples came on that day. It was very auspicious. And marriage gives you a sense of purity. And that's why our marriage is important in surgery. But that's not the last word. Like, it's not a hunting ground for everyone. I'm finding out this husband, I'm finding out that husband. That must be stopped completely. Leave it to Sahaj. You are not to search out your wives in Sahaja Yogis. No, not at all, nor husbands. Leave it. If you have done something like that, then you may be harmed. Don't do any searching or anything. A time will come when you will find, I will myself tell you, or marry this person. It's still on among Saj Yogis. I have known people who just take out people and try courting. That's not needed in Saj Yoga. No courting needed. See, we have got so many cases where the marriage was decided like that. They married, they are very happily married. Then people who had courting, these things, elections and nominations and elections and everything, and after that you find within 2 days they are out for divorce. In Saj Yoga it is spontaneous, instantaneous. You don't have to do all these things with all these deliberations. What have you achieved? It's just spontaneous. So you don't have to worry and you don't have to think. You don't have to say that, oh mother, I have to find a girl for me. So you don't. Give it to me, my headache. But once you are married in Saj Yoga, you must know what it means. And both of you must work it out properly. And it is for the good of everyone, should be good for everyone. It's got to go think of it. So, this is what it is. And I would say that on this day, let us take one vow. She'll be better off in the fresh air. Very tired. She'll be better off in the... To decide that we will be worshipping Yogeshwara. We have to worship him. Means our relationships about these things has to be clean. We should not get involved into it. It's nothing important. It's just like having your food. You have to be with your wife, the need of the body. But you don't eat on the roads, do you? You don't eat from the dirty plates, do you? You want to have a clean plate. You want to have a plate which you have used yourself. Your own plate. That should be clean. If you could have a cleaner plate you would like to have, if you can get a silver plate you would like, if it is even a golden plate is even better. In the same way, we should also have a very pure understanding that it is the need of the body which can be very subtle. So let us not just go on shopping for it everywhere, looking out, oh this is that, this one, that one, then discard this. It has to come to you specially. And all great things happen suddenly, always. The more deliberations you will have, the worse it will. So don't form ideas, don't plan about it. It will happen. It's not so important. That will give you a lot of purity. Your ego will be perfect. I know of someone whom nobody wanted to marry. And when I suggested someone who agreed with great difficulty, she said, I don't want to marry. It's funny. It is very funny that the way our ego is working out, because you see, when we are looking at another person for marriage or anything, we are not thinking of Yogeshwara. We don't think that it is Yogeshwara who will do everything for us. We are thinking we have to do it. Alright. So we go ahead with this, that, and spoil our attention completely. Sarvadharmanam parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. In this part of your decision, if you can leave it to God, it would be better. I tell you, if you can do that, you have crossed your ego halfway through. But at least 50% is ego is used in this. In the West especially. In India this question doesn't arise much. Because the parents can't decide here. Nobody can decide. You have to decide yourself. It's a big responsibility and a big thing for you. So 50% of your ego problem will be finished. I tell you, once you just give up this responsibility of choosing a bride or a bridegroom for yourself. Just forget it. Such a waste of energy, I tell you, when I see people, young people, doing all these things. I wish they could understand the value of their life, the esteem of their life. Their Ishvara is Shri Krishna. He is not Ishvara of everyone. Only of yogis. Anybody else who tries to say Hare Rama, Hare Krishna will get throat cancer. Anybody who tries to call him, who is not a yogi, gets a problem in the throat, you know. So, he is only available to you. He is only your Ishvara. He manifests only for you. He is your own. He won't act for any Dick, Tom and Harry. Maybe you might be a prime minister, you might be a king or queen. Makes no difference to him. To him only a yogi. Only a yogi can call him. Only a yogi ask for his help. He is not bothered about anybody else. And if a yogi recommends, then only he can look after someone. Otherwise he will not bother about it. So he is actually your own king, who is always there looking after you. When you call him, he comes with all his powers to support you. But you have to be the yogi. If you are not a yogi, which is of course certified by Lord Jesus Christ, then Krishna has nothing to do with it. So before the entry to Shri Krishna, though he is not the one who is going to judge your innocence, in the door resides Lord Jesus Christ. When you get in, then it's all right. But to get in also is difficult because he is always throwing you out. Shri Krishna has said that you will be to Jesus, he said, you will be the Adhara, the support of the universe. Means innocence is your support, innocence. If that innocence is not established in you, then Shri Krishna cannot help you. He is helpless. Because you don't become a yogi, and so he is not your Ishvara anymore. Now one may say that Mother, the Agya Chakra is here and he is here. Alright. But Agya Chakra when you cross, here he is. When you cross your Agya Chakra, that means he's sitting there and the Virata is sitting here. So unless and until you pass your Agya Chakra properly, you can't get to Virat. And Yogeshwara is the Virat. That is the aspect. We have to worship. We have to worship. Worshipping doesn't mean that you become that person. You worship me, you don't become me. What do happen when you worship? You surrender all that is not liked by me. In the fire, in the water, outside, in the elements, you throw them away. And you bring to me your heart. That's what it is, worshipping. In the same way, we have to worship the aspect of Shri Krishna in me, which is Yogeshwara. I am Yogeshwara. Things do not come into my head at all. I don't see things like that. I don't know what is temptation is, what attraction is, I just don't understand. On the contrary, these things repel me, absolutely. I vomit. Even to hear these things, I don't want to open my ears. My ears become deaf. I can't hear these. I can't understand any dirty jokes. I have no brains. My brains refuse to understand. I become a dull person, absolutely. Deaf and dumb. People have written books and books on these things. I don't know what they must be writing. What is there to write in this? So today we have to know that our personal life has to be extremely clean. We face ourselves every moment and find out within ourselves, are we really worshipping Yogeshwara within ourselves who resides within us? Let us develop that purity. Then innocence will be established in our eyes. We will be innocent. The eyes will speak of innocence. What's the use of having eyes which are all the time shifting? You don't know where they are going, wobbling eyes, you see, like this, like this, like this. You can't trust these eyes at all. But the eyes which are innocent receive nothing. They just give. They just give. Innocence is very penetrating, very purifying, very soothing, and very beautiful. We have to become beautiful people. Today I said on these things because I am sometimes disturbed the way people don't understand that purity of sex life is so important to Sahaja Yoga, especially in the West. People don't understand. To Indians, this lecture has no meaning. They will think why mother is wasting her energy so much. But because they don't understand. But to me it is very important here. Whatever I have seen and heard and see all around, I think today's message should be of Yogeshwara. Let us worship Yogeshwara today with our heart. When you worship me today, it should be the worship of Yogeshwara and nothing. May God bless.